and good Thursday evening. It is April 15th, and the weather here in Santa Rosa is beautiful. I'm Silver Shells,
I'm Cindy Jenkins.
and we are
The
the
Bling
Bling Sisters. You are tuned into our interactive chat show. We have interviewed, oh my gosh,
107.
seven guests. We're working on our 108th today. Our past
We're working on you, Pamela.
Yeah, we're gonna work on you hard, man. Our past guests have been we just had John Ozuna, John Otis, Billy and Ricky Peterson.
Legendary.
That's
Legendary, both of them in their own rights.
Not Billy Ricky Shelby. Okay, Barry Melton, Carl Wyatt, John Provost. And upcoming, we have Henry Turner Jr. next week. Annie Sampson, Frank Greenfield, Nick Otis, brother of John Otis, and James Nash upcoming. So
James Nash, I'm looking forward to that one.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah, we've played together.
Nice.
He's coming up.
He's incredible.
Well,
yeah, he was part of the San Francisco Review with me when I was doing that.
Oh, all right. That is awesome. So, guest number 108 is Pamela Parker. She is an engineer, producer, a songwriter, singer, a guitar, and a piano player. She hails from Washington, D.C., and is currently living in San Francisco, which is a dream she had since she was 10 years old, and we'll talk to her later. She quickly ensconced herself in the San Francisco music scene, and we are so excited to have her with us today.
Yay!
Welcome Pamela.
Hey, thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. Thanks for your willingness to come on and to chat with us. We have people watching already. Kathy January. Hey, Kathy. How's it going? All right. And so, Pamela, how's the weather in San Francisco?
It's pretty good. You know, I definitely still work at Hyde Street Studios in the Tenderloin, which has been around since 1969. So mostly I'm inside when I'm at the studio.
So do you know Eddie Market? I don't know if it's Eddie Market anymore. There's a liquor store on my family owns it. My sister's family.
Wait, is that the one right on
right on
Hyde
Eddy Street?
Right on Hyde and Eddy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been going there for like 15 years.
You know my family.
Oh my gosh,
cool.
yeah. Next time you're in, say hey. Cindy says hey.
I was like, yo, Cindy said I could have this coconut water.
That's right.
Mm,
Send her the bill.
Business, I'll buy it.
Anyway.
All right. So you Pamela, you grew up in the Washington, D.C. area. And
yeah, partly. I think I grew up there until I was 10.
Okay. And then at 10, so what did you study? I mean, how did you start your musical journey from a bitty child to this woman with wonderful credentials?
Oh, well, thank you. Well, I think it all started just, at home, and me and my brother would play piano, and he taught me Heart and Soul, that song, and it's a duet. So, he taught me the easy part so I could play that.
Uh-huh.
The hard part. And then eventually, of course, I learned both parts.
How sweet.
And I did do piano lessons starting at age 5. So that's kind of how I got started. But I also was singing in church, too, and singing in choirs. And then, I started playing violin in 7th grade.
Wow.
And that was really hard. But I played violin for about 4 or 5 years, and I was in orchestras. By 7th grade, though, I had moved to Oklahoma. So, I did my childhood from 0 to about 12 in the Maryland, D.C. area. I was about 1 mile from the D.C. line in Maryland.
Uh-huh.
And so, yeah, that's where I got, a lot of music before that. But then once 7th grade hit, did violin. I kind of still kept playing piano, and I was also in choir in that time as well. And then in 10th grade, in 11th grade, quit violin because my teacher was really kind of mean, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I wasn't that into it, anymore. And so I bought a drum set, and I started playing drums. And I played drums for many years. But at the same time, I kind of started teaching myself guitar. Like my mom had a classical nylon string guitar, so she gave that to me just to like play around with. And when I went to college, you know, guitar was the only thing you could really take to your dorm. You couldn't take a drum set.
Or a piano, yeah. Well, a little keyboard.
You could have done the keyboard. The guitar, I was like really into it. So when I got into college, I was really just taught myself guitar. I used a lot of those apps where you just like learn songs. And then eventually I had to decide what to major in college. And it had gotten to be like 2 years into college. And I still really wasn't sure. So I took a semester off and I went on a road trip with my best friend Kim Manning from high school. And we went on this road trip, and I was actually in Sebastopol at the time.
Really? Okay.
When I had my epiphany of like music was my calling, and I was in Sebastopol jamming with like some of the Granola Funk band from back in the day. And I was at my friend Malcolm Stewart's house, who's like an amazing artist right now. And also with Kim Manning. And we were just jamming. And I thought, oh, wow, this is what I love to do. And you can really change the world in a positive way through music. So I thought, okay, that's it. So then I decided after that I would just be serious about music. And I got a couple degrees in like opera and jazz, piano and guitar. And then I got a degree in commercial music, which was recording and producing, but also the opera and the jazz. So it was a lot going on there, but
yeah, we were thinking that you studied opera and then commercial music. So we were wondering,
what exactly? Describe that to
commercial
us. Commercial music.
And that's
I thought it was an interesting name for a major, and they've since changed the name of that same major to. I actually don't even know what the new name is.
You can make one up. We'll never know.
Recording, producing, and technology or something. But basically what classes I was taking was, I had to audition to get into this conservatory with my opera singing voice. So I sang some classical songs. And then I was in like a woman's choir group and then I was also like in the jazz band. I played piano. I took jazz guitar lessons. And then I also took classical guitar lessons.
Holy cow.
Jazz piano lessons and classical piano lessons. So I was like doing a lot of lessons. And then we had the main major, which was recording music. So we learned like how to write a country song, how to write a pop song, how to write a reggae song, how to produce music, how to have it sound good, what microphones these are, what kind of microphones they are, where to plug them in, where not to plug them in.
Right, right.
How to mix music, how to produce music. We had a really lot of cool classes in that major. That just taught you could do a lot in an hour. You could write a whole song, record it, mix it, and put it on CD like all in 1 hour, which was the most amazing class to me.
Well,
wow.
That's if that predicates on if you can sing, if you can write.
Right? The will and the means have to be there.
I could take a class, but I don't think I could still sing and write very well, but...
Hi, Crowbar.
Oh, you'd be surprised. But yeah, if you have all the right people, like we had 8 or 9 people in that particular hour class. And this one assignment was to do all that in 1 hour. And so we luckily had a drummer. We had a bass player. I was a singer. We had all the people there.
Oh, how fun. And so in 1 hour, you were able to start to finish a song?
Yeah, and it became a song that I did my first music video to, too. So... it was actually a really good song.
But yeah. It sounds like it was spontaneous. Did you write the music and everyone else wrote their own parts, or did you write it all?
Well, I wrote the vocals, the lyrics, and the melody.
Okay.
Right? And then the other people wrote like the backdrop music where they were coming up with like chord progressions and stuff. And then once they had their whole form down, I was also singing along.
Wow. That sounds like a nice, solid musical foundation,
Yeah, and I like to do that even now that I work at the studio, and I like to have like project sessions where either at the end of a session when you've done a lot of work and you've recorded everything you came to record, you now take 5 to 10 minutes or maybe longer just to write a new song. Like the whole band just plays something. And it's pretty fun. You get some good songs and you get some songs that you're like, okay, well, that's a song.
But but one to make a video out of. So, what happened to you at age 10 that made you set your sights on San Francisco?
So I came to San Francisco from D.C., Maryland area. My dad and my mom took me and my brother and my grandmother on like one of those kind of Griswold family vacation trips, you know. And we flew out here and rented a car, and we went to like the Grand Canyon and Las Vegas and San Francisco and the Redwoods, and like did all the stuff, right? And it was just, I was like, whoa, this place is amazing. I just was really into San Francisco when we went there, and I just thought about it since that age. Like, I think I need to go there. And then when it was time to, you know, go somewhere after college, there were two opportunities, and one was like at Electric Lady Studios in New York, and one was coming out to San Francisco to learn something about like sound healing and recording. And you had like music theory or not music theory, color theory.
Color, okay, all right.
And how that all mixes in with music. And so I thought, well, that's really cool. I need to come check this out for a little bit. I love New York. I still love to go there. But, you know, I figured I'd come here, and I've just been here ever since. I've moved back to the East Coast once, and I was bi-coastal for a lot of the time that I have been out here. So, you know, I do love it out here the most, though.
Yep, me too. Me too. All right, do we have a video?
We have Pamela Parker's Fantastic Machine plays Get It While You Can.
Oh.
I really love this rendition.
Do you want?
Let's go ahead and roll it.
All right.
Okay.
Let's roll it.
Just remember, in times like this, we gotta get it while we can, you guys. In this world, if you read the papers, darling, you know everybody's fighting with each other. You got no one you can count on, baby, not even your own brother. So if someone comes along, he's gonna give you some love and affection. I'd say get it while you can. Yeah, honey, get it while you can. Yeah, get it while you can. Don't you turn your back on love. No, no, no. Don't you know when you're loving anybody, baby, you're taking a gamble on a little sorrow. But then who cares, baby? 'Cause we may not be here tomorrow. Knowing if anybody should come along, you're gonna give me some love and affection. I'd say get it while you can. Yeah, get it while you can. Yeah, get it.
We're in.
And we are back. I'm Silver Shells.
I'm Cindy Jenkins.
And we are the Bling Sisters. And you are watching our Thursday interactive live chat. And today we have guest number 108, Pamela Parker.
Pamela Parker.
Hey.
Wait, okay.
There we go.
Here we are.
Yeah.
sorry.
Shelley's in frame
I'm
now, everyone.
I sometimes I just kind of drift. I think
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
drifting
drifting
away.
kind of thing.
Woo, Shelley,
It's one
way
of
back.
those sliding floors.
It's the pandemic drift.
That's right. Hey, we want to say hi to Barbara Ann. Hi, she is watching. Crowbar is watching. Corinna is watching, and Kathy. Thank you so much.
I have
guys.
Bruce Mahan, Connie Dickerson. Did we say that already?
No,
No?
we have different people.
We have different people. Loopy in
Lupe.
Mexico. My sister-in-law. She's beautiful. She's watching. She always watches. She always watches.
In Mexico? Where in Mexico?
Totonilco, which is in Jalisco. It's not far from Guadalajara.
Nice.
Is that
It's the home of Patron.
Oh yeah, tequila
It is
country.
Tequila country for sure.
Yeah, I studied
No.
Spanish from a young age, from age 7, I think, when I was in 2nd grade or something.
Oh, great.
Wow.
Well, before we get on to what you're doing now, let's check in with Petaluma Pride.
We have a 2-minute promo.
We have a 2-minute local promo for worthy endeavors and bands.
And bands.
And whoever really needs to talk to us for 2 minutes.
If you have a 2-minute, if you want to be on our show, contact us and we'll.
Oh, well, Cindy will hit them up.
City will hit you up, yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Hi, my name's Hanan Hunaidi. I am the founder and president of Petaluma Pride. A couple of years ago, I started noticing that there wasn't very much representation for the LGBTQ plus community in Petaluma. That was really concerning to me because as a teacher and as a parent, I know the importance of representation in your own community, feeling accepted, feeling embraced, feeling safe. As someone who came out later in life, I also know how scary it can be to tell people that you're gay, that you're queer. I was outed in high school and it scared me so far back into the closet that I didn't come out for quite a long time. I do think for myself, if I knew that there were others like me, if there were rainbow flags or a parade going down my street, I would know that it was okay, it was an option, and that I had people who would embrace me, even if my own friends and family didn't know how. Recently, there was an incident in Petaluma that I was involved in, that I witnessed with police, and it really opened up a lot of opportunities to have community conversation about safety for people in our communities that are marginalized and traditionally don't feel safe. It's a large conversation that's happening in Petaluma. It's a really important conversation that's happening in our country. And so, you know, it does kind of open up this idea of how do we make sure that we are supporting one another in our communities, whether you're gay, whether you're a person of color. You know, it's important to be having these conversations. If you're interested in supporting Petaluma Pride through volunteering or donating funds, please find us on Facebook at Petaluma Pride, or you can reach us through petalumapride@gmail.com. You spell Petaluma Petaluma. Thank you.
We are back. It is Thursday, April 15th, tax day, and they've deferred that to May 17th. So for those of you that didn't know it, yay!
Yay!
You get another month's reprieve to procrastinate. That's that's about what it is.
Yeah.
Welcome guest number 108, Pamela Parker. Again, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
She is an engineer, producer, songwriter, singer, guitar
She's a
writer,
Renaissance woman.
violin.
In the music
Exactly.
department.
Renaissance. That's
Yeah, I don't play violin now, but I did before.
You did.
I mean, I still have some violins, and I can play them, but I don't.
That's not your
So you
forte.
haven't ever played the electric violin in a band?
Well, I did play violin in my first band,
Okay.
but then after that, I decided I wasn't going to play violin anymore.
How funny.
I just, I didn't dedicate my life to violin, so I feel like if you're a violin player, I mean, I dedicate my life to voice and guitar and piano, so I felt like, and then I played a lot of drums in my life, and I have played violin. I could play, like, some basic stuff if I needed to, like, to save my life on violin, for sure. But I wouldn't want to hear me play violin when there's all these amazing violin players out there.
Right. If you need one, hire one. Yeah. But that's what
I could lead that band.
viola, the bigger one.
I want to get an electric viola, just so that I can, like, track strings, because you have really low strings, and then,
You can
usually don't want any super high notes.
Right, the lower notes. You could always add them to your...
Arthur Mickle from Detroit is in the house.
Hi.
I just had to announce
What up,
that.
Arthur?
We love Arthur.
Detroit?
Yeah,
Detroit
in the house.
We knew some... we knew a group
And Natalie... Natalie Martell.
Hello, Natalie.
Natalie Martell. Awesomeness,
Natalie?
Pamela.
What now?
So, we are going to ask you now, Pamela, what are you doing? What
are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing a lot of stuff. Well, there's a couple things. There's a show coming up. We're going to be playing outside in front of the UC Theater on May 1st.
I saw that today. You
Nice.
sent the
So that's going to be
event
fun. I'm
out.
getting prepared for that. We have a full band, the Fantastic Machine, is going to be there. And so we're going to have Chris McGrew on the drums. We're going to have Scott Thompson on the bass. We've got Tom Finch, who you heard in that video. He's going to be on guitar. Amber Fitzgerald is going to be coming to play sing some vocals with me.
Nice.
And then we have Chris Hoog playing the saxophone. And then I'm going to be there, of course, playing guitar and keys on some songs and singing,
Do you write
most? We're going to play like 7 to 10 p.m. And
Okay.
it's free and outside in front of the UC Theater in Berkeley on May 1st.
May 1st. May Day.
Be sure and post that in the Bling Sisters community page.
Okay, I will. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Michael Moss made a really cool poster for that one.
I'll hook you up after the show.
Hey, Angel.
Cool, thanks.
Saying hi to my niece. So you've had 3 albums out, and your first one, you released it pretty quickly after you moved to San Francisco, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I had already been working on it on the East Coast.
Okay.
I was working out of a studio called Avalon Studios, and I did a lot of the recording there with my co-producer, Paul Miner. And he worked with, famous bands like Earth, Wind, and Fire. He was really great friends with Maurice White. And, I met him when I was managing Avalon Studios. And he was just the coolest. I thought, he really knew what he was talking about. He was always working on music. He was so serious, and he just knew what was up. So he taught me a lot of really amazing tricks, and he gave me this really great ear training exercise, so I would always hear exact pitches. When I was first recording my background vocals, he was like, why don't you solo each one? And I was like, oh, well, they sound great, and he was like, well, no, just solo each one. And I was like, oh yeah, I think I need to fix some of those. So he just taught me how to really listen really carefully to every little part of everything. So that was great. I had more than half of that done before I moved here. I moved here, and then when I started working at Hyde Street Studios in May of, I want to say it was 2007, I want to say, or 2008, one of those years. And when I started working there, I started as an intern, and then I asked, okay, I want to mix my album in Studio A on the Neve console. So I made a cover for the Yamaha Grand Piano. That's an ivory piano not given to the studio by Frank Sinatra, but it was owned by Frank Sinatra.
Oh, okay.
And, so I made a cover for this piano. There's a really interesting story with the piano, but I made this cover for a trade so that I could mix my album there as someone who worked at the studio.
Okay.
So that was kind of, how we got that done. And I finished the background vocals and some of the bass and percussion on that album just at my home studio, and
Yourself?
then I mixed it at Hyde Street. Yeah, just with my interface and just background vocals. I did those there just so I could get them done, you know, because the studio is really, really booked, and you can't just like roll in there anytime, you know.
Right.
And I just wanted to get it done, and I had a great mic, and I borrowed a really great preamp, a Focusrite preamp, from a friend, so that made all the difference in the world.
And that was on your first album. Then you have a second
that was on the first
album.
one, yeah.
Yeah. And then you have a second album that you are, again, the engineer and producer for.
Yeah, the Evolutionary Process.
Evolutionary Process, yes. So is that the same thing? You just put it together and...
That one's a little different. That one was more planned out. You know, I wanted to do a rock album. And so I worked with Michael Moss. He co-produced the album with me. And we worked with Eric McFadden, who was a really good friend of mine at the time. And like he was like, yeah, I'll totally, join the band and do this album with you. So, I had a little bit of investment for that, which made things move a little bit faster. And we were able to do, I don't know, 11 songs probably on that. That's one of my favorites. I love classic rock. So it was like, I wanted to first do that acoustic album to show that side of me.
Right.
And then I wanted to do this rock album to show like this rock side because I love rock. And then the album after that is more of like the album where I showed a couple more styles where we were doing some more like funk and soul,
R&B,
like horns and stuff. Yeah.
I like the different styles that I've seen just in the 3 different songs that we chose for tonight.
Well,
I was just reflecting on how we don't have to sound a certain way just because we're mainly a genre. You know, it's like Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
That's right.
That music was also diverse.
Yeah.
It was
groundbreaking.
none of the songs were like each other.
Yeah.
And that's what I noted about you.
They're all diverse. So, and that's one thing that sometimes singer-songwriters, some of them, when you hear them, they tend to sound the same, but I like the different.
I want to tell the songs apart.
Yeah. And you do great because.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like I have all these different sides of me, so it's hard to just be like one kind of artist, although that probably hurts me in like the commercial aspect of promoting me as a brand. People want to know, is she like a rock chick or does she do funk soul music? Like, I don't know.
Right. Aretha Franklin, Taylor Swift, you get it. You need to, but you don't need to be in a niche, Your niche, you don't fit in one.
That's
well,
right.
Yeah, they kind of say you should be in a niche, but yeah, that's one of the things where it's hard for me. So I try to pick on each record and try to be in a niche on that record.
Oh, good. Okay, then you appeal to
something where it's like some kind of overarching, but
appeal to different audiences.
It can be difficult to stick in one niche for me personally, at least.
I see.
I could if I knew I really had to,
Right. If you suddenly.
But what would that imperative be? Like, what would be something that drove you to say, I have to go completely commercial and adhere?
I don't think it's about being commercial because it's like, there's so many.
But the audience,
a country star or a pop star, and I don't think I want to do that. But like, I love funk and R&B, and I love rock too, and like soul, So those are like my main genres. I want to play with that a little more, and maybe put out an album that's more like could be in the blues category.
Okay.
But, of course, it was like Fantastic Negrito and Gary Clark Jr. are in the blues category. They're very bluesy, but like I'd say Fantastic Negrito is very funky and soulful too, and they're also very bluesy. And then Gary Clark Jr. is like pretty bluesy.
Yeah.
He's like,
I love him. He's
great. But like I love that kind of music, and I feel that that's something I'd like to do for my next album.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful genre. So I want to play the second video, Believe. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your inspiration behind that song?
Yeah. Okay, so I wrote that song with a couple other people, with people in the band, but Tom Finch and I sat down in Wally's Hideout, which is Studio C at Hyde Street Studios. It's like the studio upstairs. We sat down there. We all came together, the band and I, to write a song that would inspire people, but also talk about things that were happening in the world. So Believe came about as like something I wanted it to be like a fun party song, but also have a message in it.
Good.
You know, like we have to treat each other as equals is one of the messages.
Right.
We have to believe that we can do that. We have to believe that people do deserve that. You know, there's some of those aspects that are underlying in those lyrics, but it's kind of a fun song with like a little bit of a lyric about, you know, going on the dance floor and dancing and like being your full self and being able to be that, but also like treat people equal, be who you are, but also be kind, you know? So that's a little bit in there, but it's like buried a little bit. And
We'll find it.
That's mostly, I wanted it to be a fun, like song with a lick line. And, you know, Tom and I came up with some really cool stuff for that song. Kind of that's what came out of it. So Evan Lanham, he produced the music video that you're about to see. He also has a great band, Evan Lanham and the Live Oaks. He's amazing. His voice is amazing. But anyway, he also is a video producer. So he produced the Believe video, and he came up with a really cool concept because we do have a lot of parties, or had before the pandemic, you know, parties at Hyde Street, and we would always have this holiday party, you know, and certain people get invited in the community.
Right.
And it was at a Christmas party a few years ago that we filmed this video. So you'll see, like, there's actually people you might know in the audience because, you know, who you might have been at the party.
Right,
Maybe you're
right.
in the video.
I'll be waving at myself. Hey.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know Rudy Colombini?
I do. Yeah,
Oh.
I met him many years ago. I knew his nephew, who was working at like Blue Note Records in New York, and then he had moved out here, and he was working with me at the studio.
So
Doing
yeah,
something
just
fun.
wondering. He's a great
Okay,
guy.
let's roll this
All right, here
film.
we go. I believe.
All right, let's do it.
So you're searching for love. Why don't you come inside with me now? You never know what you find until we come together.
number 3. And we are back. It is a beautiful Thursday night, April 15th, and we are interactively live chatting
Yes, we are.
with our guest number 108, Pamela Parker.
Yes.
So Pamela, we were admiring your pants in that video. They're
The
really
purple
cool.
ones with the cutout.
Yes.
Oh yeah, those are Warrior Within, and in fact, everything I was wearing in that video is Warrior Within, and even the bandmates were wearing Warrior Within. They're out of San Francisco, so they make all kinds of clothes for like men and women. But I basically wear their clothes every day.
Do they have a storefront?
Today.
Do they have a store?
They do. Well, you could go to Warrior Within Designs
Okay.
Online. And
Online, and we'll find
and
them.
you can use a code Pamela Parker to get 10% off.
Cool.
Wow. Now, and you're also wearing a corset.
And I'm wearing a corset. I love corsets. This is a corset story corset. So let's see. I don't know if you could see.
Okay. Oh, that is awesome. Okay, so it's got the
Kinda
hip
sitting on
things.
my stool, so it's
Uh-huh.
precarious, but yeah. So it has these really fun, futuristic things.
Yeah.
But I love corsets and I love Warrior Within. So this corset is by Corset Story. for anyone who
Corset
wants to know.
story.
It's like a
We'll have to write that one down,
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
I'm going to go
okay.
back and write these things down.
Yes.
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
write it
I
now.
can send you links.
Corset story.
But Corset Story is out of London.
London.
UK. But they're very quick at shipping. I mean, I even, when I was first working with them, had to send a bunch of stuff back just to figure out my size.
Uh-huh.
And it was like so fast and free and like just, it was great.
All right.
Nice.
So,
what's coming up for us
yeah, what do
in
you
the future? What are we looking forward to?
So, like I was talking about, we have the show May 1st.
Right.
That's in front of UC Theater from 7 to 10 at night. And then I'm actually also working on an online vocal training that's going to be out soon called Own Your Voice.
Oh,
Nice.
wonderful. Oh,
So
right. So
I'm putting all the finishing touches on that.
Nice. Passive income.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's right. And so I have so much knowledge on vocals. You know, I have been a vocal teacher too for 20 years. And I teach like piano and guitar. And I have like a very small select few students that are amazing. And when I put out my class or my tutorial, then, you know, I might open up my studio for a couple more students. We'll see.
Nice.
have you had an exceptionally gifted student that you've gone, holy cow, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I've had a couple along the lines. At one point, I was teaching a young 13-year-old on the West Coast, and I was teaching a young 13-year-old on the East Coast, and they almost like had these parallel lives where they looked very similar. They had similar, very supportive parents, you know, and it was like really wild to me. That was maybe 7 years ago that I had that. And now I have a really gifted singer. I would say one of my favorite singers that I teach is Ari Angelini. If she's watching, what's up?
Hi,
Ari.
Ari.
She
Hi,
just
Ari.
sings amazing. It's almost like effortless for her, but every time I give her direction, she's just like right on it, you know, because it's all these different details with singing. It's just, and it's all about the memory. Like, can you remember all these things? Like, breathe really deep and open your mouth and like make sure you're really relaxed. And there's just kind of a list of things that you have to be natural at. you know,
Yeah.
after
10,000 hours is, you know, you could become a natural too.
Right, and I've definitely put in my 10,000 hours on singing. I have like 2 degrees in vocals, like vocal performance. So that was part of the commercial music. Second degree was a vocal performance major, like within that recording major. It's hard to explain, but they made you do a lot of music.
Right?
Do you incorporate some of your opera with your other music? Because you can't really incorporate other music into opera, right?
Well,
Yeah,
you
you
can.
can.
I've heard
Yeah,
different
of course you
spin-offs
can.
of like classical songs done with like beats behind them and stuff.
Well,
I
look at
remember
what
when I
Two
first-
Cellos does.
Who?
Two cellos.
Oh, yeah, the 2 cellos.
Two
Okay.
cellos. Do you know the two cellos?
That sounds familiar. What is that? I've seen the name
Look them up on YouTube and look up Led Zeppelin, Whole Lot of Love, and was it Mozart or Beethoven?
Could have been.
It was Beethoven. It was do 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 do.
Do 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 do.
Yeah.
Oh, look at us sing.
And they melded those two songs together. They're incredible.
I think that's like the Fifth Symphony or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we do have Angel. She expressed. She said, "I think it's refreshing and nice to have an artist express through more than one genre." And
Thank you.
you know, that's really true. Hello, Eileen.
Hey.
But all right, and so you're going to go forward with the Fantastic Machine. That's the name of your band and the name of an album?
Well, so okay, the album's The Fantastic Machine, and then I've been calling the band Pamela Parker's Fantastic Machine.
Okay.
So people know that it's not just like one person. You know, I think I had gotten that feedback over the years that Pamela Parker sounded like it was just one person. So sometimes we'll put Fantastic Machine after my name so people know the difference between, if I'm playing solo or like as a smaller band, then I'll bill it as Pamela Parker. If I'm playing with like the full band and we probably have at least one horn and a background vocalist, at least, then that's the Fantastic Machine with like all of those extra sounds. So then it can sound more like the actual album that we did record at Hyde Street Studios, The Fantastic Machine, because that one has a few songs have horn sections and most of them have background vocals, which I've done most of the background vocals. We did have a team of background vocals on Eclipse, which I co-wrote with Ryan Hickey, and he, James Karen and I and Kim Moon and Ryan Hickey sang all the background vocals for Eclipse.
Nice.
So that was one of the ones where we did have more vocalists in on that, more of like a gospel choir feel.
Gospel choir.
So tell us a little bit about Caught by the Wind, our video going out tonight.
Okay. So yeah, Caught by the Wind video was directed by Albert Lopez. And we actually shot this video all in one day, which kind of amazes me now that I think about it. But we started very early and we went late. So we got a lot done. We did some scenes at Wally's Hideout, which was second floor of Hyde Street Studios, again, where I've worked for like 15 years. So we did some scenes there with, there's these piano keys that when I did my first album, the artwork of the album, we did like a Earth Piece mandala on the ground in Golden Gate Park. And I used these real piano keys that I got from a friend, Tyson Ayers, who's a very gifted sound healer and musician himself. But he gave me these keys and I had to chop saw off all the ends of these piano keys. So they were just like the piano part, because the key that you see also goes way back,
right?
So that it then can click onto the string, right? So I use those piano keys again in this video, and they kind of started out, and you can see it's pretty cool. Like the keys just all like kind of melt away. So that's kind of fun. And what else? We shot the video partially in Roy's Redwoods as well, up near Fairfax.
Okay.
And what else? Well, I guess there's kind of like an underlying story there you'll see, which is based on the song. But I will say, a lot of people really love this song, and it's a very different vibe.
It is. It definitely is. Yes, than the other two. It's got a slower tempo. It's different.
It's more of like a thought-provoking song.
Right,
so
right.
If you think about like when you're watching the video, I would think about what are the lyrics, and then even using the visuals too. It's kind of about being caught by the wind.
Right.
It's almost like in life, things catch us and then we like flow with them. And then we kind of wake up one day and we're like, oh, like maybe you've been in some relationship for a long time and you've just been caught up in that, as they say, right? Caught by the wind, or caught up in that, caught by the wind. It can mean different things to different people. So I like not to say too much, but it's definitely about the fact that we'll kind of always go back there. Something will catch us. And then even when that leaves, like something else will always kind of come back to that, So it's asking the listener to kind of open the mind to look deeper at like not only what are we being caught up in, but like why? Right. And does that make sense for us, or are we just kind of getting caught up because it's fun, or da-da-da, and so-and-so has a red flag, you should break up with them, but you don't.
Or just because it's happening.
right, just because it's happening, you know. So there's all those. It's almost like a bunch of different things, and then was born out of a real story for me. So
Okay.
Oh.
Well, let's
I
close it up.
gotta wrap up. I want to say I'm enjoying my second week of retirement. Yay.
ooh, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm expecting my first great grandchild, a little boy. My granddaughter Sabrina. We're waiting any day now.
Any day now.
Any day now. We're just waiting for that little boy. And everybody stay safe. The quarantine is lifting. Keep wearing your mask.
Be safe.
Be safe. Whatever your choices are, be safe. Become an ogre
An
ogre
become
donor.
An ogre.
Organ.
An organ donor, says Walter Trout. Okay, we love Walter Trout.
All right, you guys. Thank you to our faithful followers. I love you guys. We'll see you next Thursday. And Henry Turner Jr.
Yes.
Correct. Henry Turner Jr.
Next week.
Next week, he'll be number 109. But thank you,
cool.
everyone. Thank you, Pamela.
Thank you.
Have a great evening, and everybody stay safe until we see you again.
Thank you and good night.
Bye.
Here it goes.
Okay.
Today was the day I planned to make it all go away. Tonight was a night we made a night, but as the time it came, you took it all as we changed. Caught by the wind, it'll come again. Like it feels, you fill the space within, just like it's Well, now you're here.